open a new one, cause today is going down, my boy. Ooh-wee. Let's crack a sip. Today's fresh cut. We here. Ooh-wee. Let's get right to it, chat. I hope y'all doing good. I hope you have been behaving yourself throughout the week, cause you know what time it is. You know what time it is. Welcome to the Mr.Muncher Show, my boy. Hope you're having a good day and an even better day now that your boy's online. Cause at the Mr. Muncher Academy, we go crazy off that brown liquor. We going crazy today. Get the Henny out, get the Henny out, get the Henny out, crack open a new one. Ooh-wee. That drink got me feeling some type of way. Or is it the fresh cut? I don't know. Look, chat, I feel like everybody once in a while needs to go out and get, you know, a freshest of cuts and just feel yourself. Pause, no diddy. Just look at yourself and be like, damn, boy, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Cause bro, I'm not gonna lie, growing out my hair like I was great, sure. Like before it was great, but I did get annoyed and I, decided to try new things and go bald, But look, can no longer that be the case? Cause I'm over here trying to grow this bitch out for the next year. At least 6 months until next summer. Cause I did like the fucking bald cut, the good old bald fade. The ultimate fade. And, I enjoyed it for some time. Sure, it made me feel fucking powerful. It made me feel dangerous, Having a bald cut, like a fresh off bald cut, had the hoes acting different for real. I'm telling y'all, bro. I'm telling y'all. I'm not gonna lie. When I was in Atlanta with that cut, But we gotta go back to the, good old aura farming, the good old, long hair with the mullet, That's that real OG shit, because it's about to be camping season, bruh. It's about to be camping season, bro. I need to get a camping stream going, because that would be insane. A camping stream, chat? How many of y'all would love to see a camping stream? Let me know in the fucking chat. Because I definitely think if I have good internet or if I have some kind of connection out there, obviously the few IRL shits I've done obviously were, crashing out for real. But look, I'm genuinely trying to be the real IRL streamer for real. That would be fun, because I feel like, bro, all these motherfuckers online got the streaming shit on lock. I can do something a little different, I want to get something more along the lines of that everyday consumer can see and enjoy, I want to be able to get a like good vibe going, because I feel like, bro, Mafiathon 3 just like makes me feel like how broke I am, for real. Like I feel like, oh, Kai really made it. He was one of us for a little while, but bro, he rich now, dude. Bro, he's not even rich. He's fucking generationally rich to the point where he does not understand our peasant lifestyle, I've been washing this shirt for about 3 years now. I'm not getting a new shirt, Life is tough out here. So I feel like, it's a different life path for Kai, so he's not able to, do the same amount of, obviously, bro, the Streamer University, that shit was A1. Mafiathon 1 and 2, A1. I'm not sending hate, but I'm just saying, bro, for the average viewer, it's hard to comprehend that lifestyle. It's like you're watching a full-on like TV show at that point, right? It's so beyond most people's understanding of life, bro. That's out there. Whereas, you know, if I do a camping stream, I'm like right there with the boys, you know, chilling. Anybody can join in, bro. Those would be fun, you know, like hosting a live stream just outside, just vibing, bro. I'm not gonna lie, the last few months, I've been just thinking about, I haven't gone to the lake in so long, dude. Getting a good old beer, you know, good old drink with you. You know, you can go out, just fish, go on the kayak, just vibe the fuck out and nobody to bother you. Other than the damn flies. Them flies be fucking on your ass. Every time you go camping, you're gonna come back with like 700 mosquito bites on your left toenail. They be biting you in the fucking weirdest places. Why is a damn fucking mosquito going after my right elbow? Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, just go somewhere that's scratchable, because I'm over here, like, fiending, you know? Like, I look like a crackhead. But look, I feel like a lot of people should touch grass. Because nowadays, bro, I just be seeing how the internet's reacting to all this craziness going on. Bro, so much has happened in the last, like, 3 to 6 months that I don't understand. How the fuck, like, how do you even process it? In the last 3 to 6 months, shit has gone so fast and happened so quickly, and so much has happened that it's like, bro, you're just like, fuck it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, bro, that's why I've been thinking the last couple of months, bro, especially this year, I've been thinking a lot about just outdoors, just being outside and just being away from the cell phone. Obviously, I'm fucking on the airwaves right now, but I feel like in the couple of years, like being a hippie will be cool again, bro. I genuinely feel like this is about to be like the 80s where it's like crazy hippiedom, you know? I feel like a lot more people are interested in doing more nature related activities and more activities that are like, bro, fuck all that online shit, you know? And the hippie movement starts. I feel like we're right there on the precipice of a fucking hippie movement, you know? I don't know, I could be wrong, because there's so much fucking war shit, somebody killing, somebody getting killed, like all this shit, bro. The Charlie Kirk shit was sad, you know? And people on the fucking internet are talking about praising it. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? No matter how much you hate somebody, bro, that's crazy. I mean, if you dislike the guy for talking, but that's crazy, bro, that you have that type of mindset. Obviously, if you're joking around, sure, but bro, it's people were being serious and mocking somebody's death, bro. I feel like at that point, you too far gone, bro. If you mocking somebody's death, bro, that's crazy. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I mean, it's getting real oppy outside. That's all I can say, chat. It's getting real oppy outside, and I'm really thinking about it a lot more, you know, as time goes on. Because anytime you go on Instagram on your lunch break, oh, this person got ran over, this person got shot, this happened, bro. Nobody has just good news. Why can't we just bring the internet back to the good old days where we just chilling and vibing, bro, rocking shit? You know, it's like, oh, I got this new song, like check this shit out, and the next person you show it to, they're like, holy fuck, like. Obviously, bro, that type of mentality cannot be had because everybody got phones now. Everybody's able to get connected, even though we're so disconnected, you know? But I feel like, bro, we just need to bring that shit back where it's like, just chilling is okay. Why did everybody get into this mindset of the ultimate grind? You know, obviously, you know, I gotta be in my bag. I gotta be locked in. But it's getting locked in to the point where it's like, bro, nobody's happy. I don't know the last time somebody was like, yeah, bro, I'm just, you know, chilling, enjoying time. Everybody's got something to do, bro. They're like, oh, I got to do this, so I got to do that, then I got to do that. So, I don't know, bro. Over the last couple of years, I just realized, bro, everybody got something to do. Nobody just wants to chill no more. I don't know if I'm just getting old as fuck. Am I just unk now? Am I just fucking unk status now? Because I feel like, bro, a lot of times people just don't understand that you gotta schedule time to just chill. You know, I sometimes feel like, you know, chilling is one of the most important things you gotta do. Cause like, it's like resetting your PC. If you fucking run that PC without any updates and for the whole like 2 years, you just never upgraded Windows and then never restarted your PC once, that shit is gonna explode. You know, I feel like that's just human beings too. I mean, even though a lot of people refer to us as machines, you know, oh, I'm a robot. Nobody's a robot, bro. I just realized that over the last couple of months, bro. The motherfuckers that are like running, just running all the time, like they got demons to run from and fight, you know? I gotta work like 7 a.m. to 7:30 the next day, you know? It's like, what time can you just like be off? I feel like nowadays, bro, I get it. I like that mindset, but I've been just thinking about this. I don't know. I could be wrong in about 2 weeks. I'm like, fuck all that. But I'm just, you know, diary of an open mic comic after all, you know? But I've just been kind of like thinking about that a lot more, where a lot of people just go, 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 go. I woke up at 4 a.m. I woke up at 3 a.m. I woke up at 2 a.m. I didn't even go to bed. You know, like, at what point is it going to be like, fuck it, I'm nocturnal, you know? Like, I feel like the more I'm on TikTok, it's like, your life is a failure? Wake up at 4 a.m. and change that shit. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I got no car. I'm in debt. I fucking just, you know, bankrupted myself. And you talking about waking up at 4 a.m.? That's gonna solve my negative $90 million? That's gonna solve my 2001 Camry from exploding every 13 miles, where I'm going about speed of 25 miles an hour and my left tire flies out? You're gonna tell me if I wake up at 4 a.m. my tire is not gonna blow the fuck out and I'm not gonna flip across the highway and hit 14 families and end 2 different lunch breaks? All I gotta do is wake up at 4 a.m. I tried doing that and I, you know, almost jumped out my fucking balcony, butt booty naked, eyes open, head first on the concrete. Cause I was like, yo, what the fuck do these motherfuckers think sleep is? Like, I feel like, bro, sometimes you just gotta get your beauty sleep. I was so locked in, I got locked out. I don't know how the fuck I even got so locked in that I lost track of myself, you know? Comparison is the thief of joy, as they say, right? So you get so locked in because you see other people locked in, you're like, bro, we're not even running the same speed no more. We're not even in the same race no more. Because I realized these motherfuckers running 100-meter dash. I'm running the 400-meter dash 4 times around. So you can't compare your race, your battles, your mindset, and your determination with somebody else. Maybe you turn on your jets at round 2. Maybe you turn on your jets at round 3 because you got 1 more lap to go. I don't know. I feel like recently I've just been kind of giving myself a little bit more love, man. When I said there's a hippie movement starting, it's not with anybody else but myself. I'm the hippie movement, you know? Like, honestly, at some point, bro, waking up at 4 a.m. is not enough. You gotta wake up at 1 a.m. to get to work so you can have 3 jobs. So you can have 14 bills by the end of the month. Because if you not really living on the edge, are you really living though? Your mortgage gotta be $17,000 a day. If it's not, are you really grinding though? I don't know, chat. I'm getting real tired of that bullshit, bro. I just seen that so much. At what point do we just go, nah, bro, fuck these other motherfuckers raising the rent by 300%. McDonald's fucking fries not the same no more. I knew we lost it all. When them fries start coming out stale, bro, there used to be love in the McDonald's fries, bro. Now everybody opening a McDonald's. Back in the day, bro, when you went to a McDonald's, it was like, hell yeah. Nowadays, bro, you go because, fuck, bro, I can't cook tonight. I just worked 17,000 hours in the past week. Now I got another 200 millimeters to go. I got 500 fucking hours to clock in so I can make rent. At what point do we just go like, holy fuck, bro, life is fucked right now for everybody? I don't know, bro. I feel like recently it's just been pissing me off. Every little thing that used to just be alright, you know, it's alright, you know. Now I'm like, fuck all that. I was like sad as fuck for like the last couple of weeks. And I'm like, damn, bro. Sometimes I be beating you the fuck down. And somebody said, sometimes life fucks you. But you gotta fuck it right back. A wise man once said, life's a bitch. I'ma make that bitch wet. I'm telling y'all, bro. I'm telling y'all, you sometimes just gotta grab fucking life by the throat and just spit in its mouth. Get real physical with it. Put it against the wall and make out with life. Sometimes you have to enjoy that pain. Just tongue deep in that fucking filth. In the ground grinding 4 jobs a day. Nah, you need 5. 15 hours a day at work? Piece of cake. I need you to work 23.5 hours. Because look, right now nobody wants to admit defeat in this climate. Nobody wants to be like, nah, we are too far off the course. We are too far off the course. And where did the course turn? I don't know. We're not even the same continent right now. And that's where I get pissed off because, bro, where did we go from all immigrants welcome here to deporting my fucking Taco Bell specialist? I'm upset. I'm upset. Why did Juan have to pay for me to just get cheaper food? Juan got packed up and packed off so I could get Taco Bell for $5 a box. And now that shit don't even cost the same. Now you gotta cough up $17.83 to get a piece of food that used to cost $5. It used to be the $5 box. I'm really upset about this shit. Chat, look, we used to live in the peak. Why does everybody talk about, you know, oh, summer 16 was the best summer ever? All that nostalgia shit back on the fucking internet. Why do people do that? Because they realize we're getting fucked. We're getting butt booty naked and then getting the fucking whip out. And it's really pissing me off because now it's like, oh, you can't make rent. You not working hard enough. How, back in the day, if you had a fucking 9 to 5, you can go to Mars. I'm upset. I sneeze so much because I'm upset. I'm allergic to this bullshit. Coke used to be good prices. Now they got fentanyl in it. Why they fucking the game up like this, bruh? It's pissing me off. They fucking up the game. Because, look, back when El Chapo was in charge. You know, he had that good shit. Yet we started, you know, declaring a war on drugs. Like, why? Like, bro, let me enjoy my life. And why did life feel more peaceful when we had motherfuckers selling bricks for 10 a pop? Why was life more peaceful then than it is now? Motherfuckers sending in the National Guard to fucking secure these streets? Hoes ain't that dangerous. You might get a TD or two, but National Guard in the streets of America? What? What? And that's what I'm saying. When you get on TikTok, bro, used to be fucking, you know, brain rot material. Now it's fucking brain cancer material, bro. Now that shit gets stuck in your head and now you paranoid for the next 35 hours talking about, fuck, they coming and getting me. I got 9 hours on average on the phone and that shit is embarrassing, bro. I'm getting tired of it. I need to get off the phone. Why are these apps so addicting? You like itching when you get off Hinge, like, damn, where the next baddie at? It's never enough. You get on TikTok, oh shit. Oh shit. You stuck in fucking the zone for about 35 minutes straight. Then you realize you gotta piss. Then you go in another fucking 45 minutes on the toilet. You hitting 3-hour fucking benchmarks on just one app. That's crazy. That's crazy. What has this world come to, bro? I really don't know. I really don't. I don't know. Am I getting too satirical? Am I getting too sadistical? Is that the right word? I think so. English is my second language. 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. M's in my bank account, brother. And I'm not gonna lie. Nowadays, being an alcoholic doesn't sound too bad. You know? If I'm gonna go in a fiery ball of hell, I might as well go lit. But I don't know. I feel like, you know, a lot of people feel this and a lot of people have been addressing it online. And the thing is, they're not getting, you know, to another person. They're getting onto a robot or customer service robot. Nowadays, you got to email and send all these forms and whatnot. Rather than back in the day, you could at least pick up somebody and cuss somebody out on the phone. That released all that stress in here. Obviously, that motherfucker traumatized. But the thing is, back in the day, you had that human-to-human connection. Nowadays, bro, oh, hit up this, you know, support at this, support this dick and a half. I need to talk to somebody and get this stress off. I need to get this stress off. There's no good Karens no more, bruh. There's no good Karens no more. They ruined the game. They ruined the game. I don't know, chat. Am I being too sensitive? Am I being too wild? Am I being too inconsiderate? Because I think I'm just speaking my mind, and I think I'm just genuinely getting everybody's thoughts out on stream. That's all it is. I feel like a lot of people too scared to lose their job, too scared to, you know, voice their opinion. Obviously, bro, I need my job. I need to be able to provide for myself. I need to be able to eat and just chill. But how long till you get whipped into submission? How long do you just take the whipping? That's a real question. Weirdly enough, I knew the world was going crazy when Kobe died, right? I'm not a big basketball guy, but that's, you know, I feel like after that, you're like, holy shit, what's going on right now? And then I feel like a lot of people got real sensitive for a while, and they still are very sensitive. I feel like anybody that's getting upset at anything, they're not even getting upset for themselves. They're getting upset so that way somebody else can be like, oh, this is a good person because they're upset at this. Everybody's trying to hold frame. For who? For what? Everybody got the elevator talk. Everybody got that fucking cooler talk that you're just, you know, by the cooler hitting the, yeah, Jimmy went to his honeymoon yesterday and then, you know, they went on a good vacation. I don't give a fuck about Jimmy. Ah, yes, you know, I just made $70 gajillion last week. You know, I need to get 25 gajillion more. I don't give a fuck. Where's the good vibes? Where is the fucking personality in things, bro? Everything is so cookie cutter. If I become too out of the box, the hoes are like, oh my God. Because everybody's so cookie cutter. The houses. This is like the Truman Show for real. Oh, welcome to our neighborhood. Our boxes are made out of fucking cardboard. Ah, wow. Our boxes got, you know, tile roofs. All y'all fucking still living in a cardboard box. These billionaires got yachts. These billionaires got yachts. Bigger than your whole damn community. Their yachts are worth way more than your whole neighborhood combined. How is that possible? I don't know. I'm just ranting. I've just been thinking about the fucking crazy state of the world we're in. Our world leaders are talking about, oh yeah, fuck it, we'll nuke them. We'll nuke them? Is that what we come down to? Like, what the fuck's going on? Motherfuckers used to, you know, take your lunch money. Nah, you shoot them. Like, what the fuck? You can't just bully somebody no more? You can't just have a good old like fucking around and find out? I mean, this is the ultimate fuck around and find out, where you just bully somebody and now your whole class Swiss cheese. I don't know where the fuck the state of the world is now. You got TMZ picking on somebody, you got news channels picking on somebody else, and then you got all the other fucking media trying to just cause drama, and then everybody causes, you know, complaints about how dramatic it is. Then stop fucking writing about the drama. Whoop-de-doo. I don't know, chat. Maybe I'm just yapping and causing drama myself, but I feel like at this point, I'm just clearing my mind. I'm just trying to just make sense of the world, bro. Sometimes just shit just be shitting, bro. Sometimes I just feel like, what the fuck? How did we get here as a country, as a nation, as a fucking human race? You got motherfuckers on the street. They got flat tires on their wheelchairs. You got a flat tire on your wheelchair, bruh. And a motherfucker spends more than your whole net worth on his pinky ring. Like, how the fuck is this world really whirling right now? Hey, I appreciate that, cat. Hey, yes, sir. You know, gotta get that drip going. But I'm just saying, bruh. How does the world simply function anymore? How does the world simply move past where we're at right now? The fucking Ukraine war was the fucking topic. Then we had the damn Israel-Gaza shit going on. And bro, there's just so much I can't keep up. My brain cells are really just fucked up. My brain cells have fucking suicided. I can't comprehend the 400 topics and the 500 different regions I gotta keep track of. Just give me the fucking slop of TikTok that I used to have. The slop of, you know, you got Subway Surfer up top, and then somebody just, talking about their normal day to day. Why is everybody a fucking political pundit now? Why is everybody just fucking doing something like promoting some pharmacy, promoting some fucking political party? Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm just complaining. Give me the money. I'll do it too. Give me the fucking fat old check. Oh, get 7 fucking boosters. If the check looking like $1 million a month, I need you to get 7 fucking boosters tomorrow. I don't know, bro. Get them all together. I feel like nowadays, bro, just the world has come to a weird fucking point. I feel like every person in every generation has thought about this. This is not any kind of new ideas. This is not any kind of new revelations that I have. I just think in general, bro, a lot of people have recently like come to the conclusion like we getting dick down long dick style, raw. Like these billionaires are just getting us straight where they want them. Because remember, at some point, Elon Musk was cool as fuck. Then the boy was video game lying. The boy was video game lying about being good at a video game. That is the most nerd shit ever, bro. I used to love Elon Musk back in fucking college, bro. And now, fucking nerd, bro. Like the ultimate nerd. It's crazy how corny people get over time. And, maybe in 10 years I might be corny. I don't know. I just I'm frustrated. I'm angry. I'm just trying to take out my frustration on you. I'm kidding. I just like getting on here and yapping because I feel like at the end of the day, we're having fun. We're having a good time. This is the spot where you come to and just shit on everybody else. But we still keeping it positive though. We still keeping it positive. We want to make sure that we're like on good vibes and good energy. Because I feel like, bro, there's too much bad energy going around. So if you like roasting people, roast in a good, fun manner. Don't do it just to hate on somebody. Because, bro, that's brewing hate in yourself. I feel like that's the problem. There's so many bots out there. The dead internet theory they talk about. Like 90 or 75% to some say 90% of the internet is dead. Like there's no real actual people other than bots. Even if on the lower end, they said it's about 45 to 50%. If half of the comments you get, half of the views you get are bots. That's insane work, chat. That's insane work. I mean, they say fucking Kick and Twitch and YouTube, well, not YouTube as much, but Kick and Twitch's view counts are botted to the max. So how many people are for real, for real? That's the real question. How many of these actual hate comments are for real, and how many of them are just genuinely fucking with you and having you rage baited? On a simple Tuesday afternoon, you're rage baited, and 2 days later, you about to fucking punch a bitch, You end up getting rage baited to beat your wife because you watch so much red pill content that you're like, yeah, it's this bitch holding me back, I feel like so many people get so upset just by getting rage baited nowadays. And I feel like a lot of that rage bait content is just pure AI. And it's about to get worse, bro. The fucking AI slop that's out there now, you can kind of detect it. But imagine when it gets better. You won't be able to tell a difference, bro. You won't be able to tell a difference because anybody can be saying anything on that AI slop. You don't know. Right now, I get fooled when they fucking drop the Diddy and the Diddy tapes with Meek Mill. The fucking audio, that shit is just gay porn. Like that's not Diddy like taking like his anger out on Meek Mill. That's just gay porn. Like somebody just put their picture. Unless I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they got AI'd. Meek Mill got AI'd so hard. Pause. But like, I genuinely think, bro, in a couple years, you're not gonna be able to tell what's real and what's fake anymore, which is so insane. Because half of the fucking videos I be watching, motherfuckers act like bots anyways. Like, you can't really fake the bot behavior. There's no restrictions on AI at all. We don't know. It could be fucking alive and very well. But we have no idea. You just trust these motherfuckers that don't even like the human race to solve this problem? Oh, we're cooked. We're cooked. Chat, we're well baked, cooked, and packed off into the stratosphere cooked. I don't know how we fix this. I don't know how we get back to the good old fucking timeline we have, just fun and just vibing. Not everything has to be, you know, to the maximal views, to the fucking maximum degree I need to make $1 million a week or I will die. You know, it's like, I don't know how I return to that life. You know, it feels like that was a millennia ago. I can't even say millennium. That was so long ago. Back when McDonald's fries used to be good. They're so hit and miss now, bro. Every time I went to a McDonald's back in the day, I knew this crispy shit was it. McDonald's fries inspired me to work at McDonald's. Obviously, I saw the care they gave to those, and then I dipped out. But I feel like the world is at a point where people just don't give a fuck no more. Everybody's just trying to make ends meet and go about their day. If they gotta fuck over 7 to 25 people, they will. And that's a bad place to be in. Where you don't love thy neighbor. When you don't love thy wife. You know? You ever just be at a point in life you're pushed to the brim where you hate your girl? That's sad, dude. Divorce rate is so high right now. It's year over year just gone up so high because back in the day, the wife could stay home and it would not be a detriment to the family. The wife could stay home and it would not be impeding on my feminine side. It won't be impeding on my lifestyle. Now you say that, oh my God, you're so controlling. Oh my God, red flag. Clearly, the way relationships and the world is running right now is not the right way. People are more anxious than ever. Divorces are through the roof. So clearly something has to change. I don't know how the change comes, but I just been thinking about it. I've been just wondering how we got here. What is this world? What is this matrix that we're sitting in right now? And who the fuck is Neo in this matrix, if there is one? Because that's the real question, bro. If we're sitting in the matrix, how do we escape it? How do you get out of the matrix? It was so crazy when, Andrew Tate talked about getting out of the matrix, He talked about, escaping the matrix. And everybody was all over that. Everybody was ready to go. And then spawned the 4 a.m. motherfuckers. Then spawned the ultimate workers. Next is the nocturnal motherfuckers. I'm telling you, it just keeps getting pushed to the fucking edge. Nobody wants to chill no more. Everybody just wants to be on that next level. But at what point do you realize there is no next level? This is the level you got. This is where we're at. And the way the world and the game of fucking life is set up right now, somebody's cheating. The fucking deck is against you completely. You're getting the crumbs. You're getting the fucking piece of trash. You got $1 million house. Wow. Some of these fucking billionaires' children's tuition is $1 million a year. I just wonder how the fuck is that wealth disparity just like this? There was Never a change from way back in the day till now. There's always been king and queens. We're just a different type of slavery now. Obviously, there was racism. Sure. I'm not saying things are not better. But we also got a chokehold. Like, but daddy government, the bigger upper echelon. They got you by a fucking strap on. You just don't know it yet. And that's so crazy. How have we got here? Why can't we just live our lives and just be happy and enjoy your fucking 70, 80, 90 years on Earth? It's crazy. They only prolong, medicine just so, they can have longer living slaves. That's all it is, bro. Everybody gets trapped in that 9-to-5 rat race, bro. In America especially, it's the consumer economy, as they call it. It's the economy that fucking only runs when everybody's feeding themselves and keep going out. It will not run if what happened in COVID happened again. It will not run when shit gets to a standstill. Then the fucking consumer economy crashes and it's all over. The facade is all over. It just implodes on itself. COVID was the fucking point where we should have realized, oh, we're getting milked right now, bro. We getting straight milked right now, bro. We're getting milked to the fucking brim. These wars they've caused, they're nothing but ploys to get all this money out of the system. They're fucking livid. How do we know Russia is the bad guy? How do we know China is the bad guy? We don't. That's the problem. As long as there is a bad guy, there's always somebody to blame. If there's always some kind of bullshit going on over there, you won't focus on over here. You won't focus on what you got in your own backyard. The problem that was caused by greed, Like, I feel like all these fucking wars, just nothing but resource gathering, just crazy amounts of money getting thrown around, while us peasants over here, bro, peasants, scavenging, fighting over the fucking breadcrumbs we call a couple $1 million. You cannot fathom how much $1 billion is, let alone $1 trillion. We're in $1 trillion deficit? What does that even mean? I don't even see that number in mathematics. $1 trillion? What? What? How many zeros is that? And that's when I just get pissed, bro. Because we're just getting milked. Just milked till I squirt and curve my toes. Pause. It's a problem. And honestly, what can we do about it? Charlie Kirk tried to speak up and bro got knocked the fuck out. So that was a clear warning. Let's fix this course, or speak too loud, you get silenced. They tried doing that with the boy Trump, but he fell back in line. He fell in line, I feel like, bro. He went away from where he used to be. Trump used to be the man. In 2016, he used to be the man. Everybody fought for him. Then all of a sudden, Epstein. Oh shit, there's a ring of rich, valuable people that are on this island, crazy work. Crazy work. The reason I say that may never come out is because, bro, the amount of fucking people that are probably on that Epstein list will make the world implode. Look in the fucking Indonesia files, right? Indonesia, you know, got a couple hundred out, a couple hundred milli. This is $1 billion game they're talking about. Indonesia is on fire right now. America's a $1 billion game. A big $1 trillion game. If Epstein comes out, Epstein files come out, everything implodes. Because whether or not you did shit, whether or not you went to the island or you just used his jet, your name's on there. It's just not gonna look good. That's the problem. And that's the thing. The world is at such a weird place, bro. Because the rich are getting so rich, they don't give a fuck about it no more. They're flaunting it. I just bought 2 jets last week. Oh, fuck you mean 2 jets? Brother, I can barely get tires on my fucking car. You talking about you bought 2 private jets? Hey, yo, murk him. I don't know, bro. I feel like it's crazy. And when you get into the taxes of, hey, let's, you know, get these billionaires on some taxes. Oh, no, they're doing it right. Oh, it's the poor that are paying about 43 to 45% of their... What? Excuse me? Hello? What? These billionaires are billionaires paying $2, $3 in taxes, bro. It's a bitch slap to the commoner. This is like back in the day when the fucking kings used to roll their barrels of gold coins through the city and let the commoners see the wealth of the king. They want you to be aware. If you touch this shit, you done. You off this bitch. You getting packed up and packed off this hoe. So that's what's happening now. These motherfuckers flaunting their gold across the city within private jets that cost more than most people's life earnings, my boy. Jeff Bezos made more last year than the whole city of Dallas. How is that normal? How is that normal? How is somebody's net worth more than a fucking million people in the city? I don't know what I'm speaking of. I just know I'm speaking my heart. I've lost my heart, you know? So I'm just speaking and just chilling with y'all in this beautiful, beautiful September weather. The hot summer's behind us. We got winter coming. We got winter coming. Brace yourself. Keep your loved one close because you don't know. Things change so fast. You don't know who's here today, gone tomorrow, bruh. So do what you can to just show those people around you how much they love you for real. And how much you love them for real. And then you get to something in life that you can hold so dear that nobody gives you no fucking satisfaction other than this one fucking thing. You don't know. You don't know when you might need that one thing. Some people, it's heroin. That's some people. Some people, it might be just writing or journaling. Some people, it might be fucking acting. Some people, it might be singing. It might be comedy. I don't know what it is for you. You find out. Figure yourself out. I feel like so many people nowadays, bro, don't know themselves. They don't really know how to really conduct themselves because they haven't really had that chance to grow. Everybody through school, from kindergarten to fucking college. Oh, go to these classes, take this. You're getting packed up and not having nothing but a straight assembly line to the cog in the machine. And that's sad. And when you get up from the fucking wake of it and you're like, oh shit, everybody's successful, they got the money, but they don't have the soul no more. When you lose your soul just to be able to be happy, is that pure happiness anymore? I don't know. I've been contemplating that a lot. When you give it all, give it everything you have, give it your fucking last breath, is it worth it? And that's what I contemplate with myself every day. At what point is it worth it? You work at the fucking pizza shop. You love it so much. You love everything about the pizza shop. So you end up one day owning your pizza shop. You give going out. You give up everything. You wake up 4 a.m. every day. No coffees. Because Starbucks is expensive. You give up everything. You own the pizza shop one day. But now you look around. No friends. No family. But just a Bugatti out there. Was it worth it? Is it all worth it? And that's where I'm like kind of, in my soul fighting. Is it worth it in the end? All those tough nights, all those deep, deep desires you have to just go turn the fuck up. What if you suppress those until you get where you want to be? Was it worth it? And to some, it might be. It might be worth giving up all the bullshit in the world. It might be worth it. I don't know. I haven't come to that conclusion yet. I'm still contemplating that answer. I'm still wondering where I'm at with that. I've just been thinking a lot about it. This is just therapy, Therapy even expensive. The inflation on therapy has gone up so crazy. Even that bitch expensive now. So nowadays, I just gotta, express my emotional needs to y'all because it's cheaper that way. The way you miss out on important birthdays, important events, important fucking hangout sessions. Remember those hangout sessions with the boys? You could sit at Whataburger. You could be at Walmart fucking 3 in the morning. What happened to those? What happened to those vibes? Everything closes at 10, maybe midnight. No other fucking freaky ass fucking shops open. So you just sit in because you have to be home at a certain time. What happened to the fucking nights you could be out till 3 in the morning because you don't work till fucking 4 p.m. and you still make fucking rent? Motherfucker, if I get up at 5 a.m. and get to work and work till 12 p.m. the next day, I'm still not making rent. Fuck going on, bruh? Where's the world at nowadays, bro? A lot of things have gone so crazy. A lot of things have gone so out of hand that we're thinking, oh, it's all okay. I just got to get my 3rd job. It's okay. I'm not working hard enough. You've gotten your ass whooped so bad. You've gotten your ass whooped so bad. That you hit oh, at least this will keep my muscles toned. At least I have something to do. At least I have a mission, a job. You've been whooped so hard that you're like, fuck it, I still got it though. I don't know, bro. I'm just ranting. I'm just fucking ranting, Chad. Tonight is the night I told y'all we're getting rowdy. We're fucking drinking that brown liquor. We're drinking that brown liquor. We're getting that Henny on me. We getting that Henny on me. Ooh wee. I got that Henny on me. Ooh. Look, I don't know, chat. Am I just yapping? Am I just fucking bullshitting right now? I don't know. I've been talking for an hour now. I don't know. All I know is I'm just trying to get my therapy session going right here and just yapping. If you enjoyed the yap session, hit the fucking follow button. Hit the fucking notifications. If you stayed this long, I need you to hit the notifications because you know how we do it at Mr. Muncher Academy. How we do it over in these streets. In these parts of the town, we go crazy. So, I don't know. I feel like I've yapped. I've kind of just let my ideas out tonight, chat. I've let my mindset a little bit loose tonight. I know I spoke a lot and I've kind of not maybe, convinced some of y'all. But I feel like I just had to give it my 2 cents. Maybe my nickel. Inflation going crazy. I might even give you a dime. But chat, the problem really is, there's so many people in this world that are angry, that are unsatisfied, that are unable to keep moving forward because of the overwhelming sensations and pains of just living life. Getting beat down by the day to day. How do you help those people? How do you get out of that fucking slump? Because apparently the schools are not doing it no more. The fucking college degree's not doing it no more. You can send 75 fucking applications an hour until you fucking have cured cancer. You're not going to get a job. I don't know what it takes nowadays. You got to be fucking Einstein to work at Buc-ee's. You got to have a GED and 4 master degrees to work at goddamn Walmart nowadays. Why are there no fucking job openings when there's 70 million, billion, 325 trillion jobs out there? I don't know. And it's bothering me. It's bothering me to no end. That everybody's anxious right now. Everybody's, on edge. Everybody's on a different level, on an elevation that is not consistent because it keeps going down. You're getting less elevated over the last couple of years. It's been a gradual decline. The fucking poverty rate is crazy. The joblessness in the world is crazy. Where are we going with this? Let's find out through the Mormons, bro, because apparently the Mormons know how to do it right. Look at this. We got Johnny Harris. Why Mormon church is so rich? Why is it so rich? I don't know. Are they part of the Illuminati? We'll find out, I guess. Stick through the fucking video.
2-year mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Now, that might sound ridiculous. That might sound absurd. Why would you do that for 2 years? Well, let me tell you why.
$293 billies?
I'm born and then blessed. I learned songs, rhymes, motions, all teaching me where I came from, why I'm here, where I'm going.
I am a child of God.
That sounds demonic.
I'm 5 years old.
Holy shit.
I learned to study a book, the most perfect.
The way they had that rhythm going, that sounded demonic, dude. Holy shit.
book. I learned to follow the prophet.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
I'm 8 and I'm getting baptized. I can sin now. I can be dirty. repenting for those sins is now my responsibility.
Be clean. We live in a world that is filled with filth and sleaze. You cannot afford to let that poison touch
I'm
you.
now a
Ooh,
full
my neck.
member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They call us Mormons. And I start paying 10% of my income. I don't have any income, but I'm taught that any money I get, the first thing I should do is pay 10% to the Lord.
It was hard for me to give my tithing to the bishop, but it felt good to be obedient to the Lord.
I'm 12 years old and I receive the priesthood.
My beloved brethren of the priesthood,
With this comes authority, God's authority.
our young people are the nobility of heaven.
I get to pass the bread and water to the congregation. Girls don't have the priesthood, but they're learning other important skills. I'll marry one of them one day. If I'm worthy,
Mormons came up with the term soaking. I just want to put that out there. If you want to look that up, beware. That's crazy. But soaking was created by Mormons. I learned about this. I had a few Mormon homies back in the day. Them boys were soaking. And they was talking about if somebody else shakes the bed for you, it's okay. Yo. Just be gay at that point. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're edging your homie? What's going on? Like, why is your homie shaking your bed for you? What are you doing?
once a month I get to go with other teenagers to this ornate building, the temple. Such an important building. I dress in white and get baptized in this font that sits atop 12 oxen. Not baptized for myself, but for someone else, someone who has died, but never got to hear about the restored gospel. I'm being baptized as their proxy, giving them a chance to make it to the celestial kingdom. As soon as I'm in high school, I begin waking up every morning at 5:30 to go to a church educational seminary.
5:30, you lost me. You already lost me. 5:30? I gotta be up at church at 5:30. You lost me.
School day actually begins. Monday nights are family home evening. Wednesday nights, all the youth get together at the church. Sundays, we meet for 3 hours. We don't work on Sundays. We don't watch movies. We don't listen to music. We're not supposed to buy anything. We do all of that on Saturday because, as I've been singing since I was 5,
Saturday is a special day. It's the day we get ready for song.
my weekends are spent volunteering. None of my friends are doing anything close to this in their
Bro, they're literally building the perfect cog in the system. No wonder they're so rich, bro. They're like perfectly fit into the system. Holy shit.
time. I'm different. But I'm not weird. I go to school dances, I play sports, I'm in a band, I'm the homecoming prince. At church, we're taught that we need to be social. We need to be charismatic and fun. We are ambassadors of the church. We're taught that,
That though we are in the world, we must not be part of it. We must not be influenced by those who would call us peculiar.
and my non-Mormon friends wonder why my family is so close, why we're always so happy, why we work so hard. I get my first job at Dairy Queen, my first paycheck. I start paying tithing. I go to Mormon youth camp during the summer. We dance and we sing, we play, we perform, and feel
Damn.
feelings we aren't sure are ours.
I will say the way Mormons fucking are in a community, the way they have a community and something to, aim toward is crazy. I've noticed that they kind of just stuck with their own kind, which is crazy, racist, but I get it. I get it. They keep amongst themselves. I was their token brown boy, so I get it.
I graduate high school, and instead of joining a frat, I get a letter. I open it up, and it's an assignment. I'll be spending 2 years of my life volunteering on a mission to spread the gospel. They're sending me to Tijuana.
2-year mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Now, that might sound ridiculous, that might sound absurd. Why would you do that for 2 years? Well, let me tell you why.
Before I leave on my mission, I get inducted into the highest order of the priesthood, and I go through some pretty intense rituals in the temple. Stuff I'm not allowed to talk about. There's special clothing, special gestures.
This seems like a cult. Huh?
There's lots of promises, very serious promises. Promises of commitment, of loyalty.
Elder John Harris reporting.
Then suddenly I find myself in a small border town in the desert of northern Mexico.
He must be a Mormon,
years.
this seems like.
I spend nearly every waking moment knocking on doors, talking to people in a language I'm getting better at every day, studying the doctrine, and spreading the most important story of all, that Joseph Smith restored God's true church in 1830. I follow a strict dress code, even when it's 110 degrees outside.
Damn.
There's no free time, there's no music, there's no books or movies, no vacation, no pay, no girlfriends.
I feel like that's like military service, bro. That's basically disciplining the shit out of you right there.
To my friends, and I get a phone call with my parents on Christmas and Mother's Day. All my non-Mormon friends are at college, discovering their academic interests, their sexuality, their tolerance for alcohol, while I'm discovering
instead I just dropped out and I just, minded my business for a couple years and went back to school. You could do that too. Drop out a couple of years, take a year, 2 years off, maybe go abroad. You might learn a thing or two. But you don't have to be Mormon to do all that. You could just drop out. You could just have fun.
Body and mind. How good I can get at Spanish. How compelling I can make the message sound. Every day is planned down to the minute. Something I still do today. The mission requires us to collect data on how many people I spoke to, how many lessons I taught, how many people I asked to be baptized. I'm trying to baptize as many people as I can. Soon I'm leading a group of 20 missionaries, encouraging them, teaching them, guiding them, training them, and I'm 20 years old.
Damn! That's your own clan.
In Mexico, but I bury them very deeply, put them on the shelf, and I build my testimony, my faith, my belief.
Bro had his own clan before YouTube? What?
I must build his kingdom.
We are here to invite people to understand the laws of God.
And I discover that I'm good at this. I sit in thousands of homes. I hear thousands of stories of difficult and beautiful lives. I meet beautiful people. I learn about the violent realities of borders. After 2 years of this intensity, I'm a different person. I return home, and 10 days later, I'm in Utah's striking Rocky Mountains on the Lord's campus, BYU. I'm surrounded by tens of thousands of other college-aged Mormons. We're not allowed to have beards or wear tank tops or drink or have sex outside of marriage.
So brown people really can't be motherfucker, they're racist.
But that doesn't mean we don't have fun. At BYU, I meet my lifelong friends. The church is subsidizing the majority of my tuition. I study international relations and travel the world, and no matter where I go, the church is there, teaching the same lessons, singing the same songs, inside the same looking buildings as back home. Every 6 months, we all travel to Salt Lake City to gather with tens of thousands of members from all around the world, and we listen to our church leaders speak. We believe that they are prophets, seers, and revelators. This is broadcast to members all around the world. And one of the key messages throughout all of this training is family. Family is the most important thing. Family is eternal. I'm 21, and I'm dead set on finding a wife, someone I can start a family with. It must be another devout Mormon who has been on this same path. And I find one. I'm engaged 10 months after returning from my mission.
That is so true, bro. Mormons get married so young. It's insane, bro. They be getting married at like 21 to 22. The oldest Mormon I saw got married was 23. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Y'all gonna be divorced in about 5 years. It's crazy. But then again, I've seen the Mormon rates, like the stricter your religion, the more community, the more you actually seem to stay together. Apparently, it's crazy.
Izzy and I get married in the temple. We're juniors in college, and soon we're walking for graduation with a beautiful newborn baby in our arms. At this point, I'm ready. I'm trained. The church has invested so much in me, and many of us go from here to have high-paying jobs, to volunteer as leaders in the church, to be deeply devoted, to running it effectively, to growing it, to faithfully paying tithing, all while living productive, industrious, family-centered lives. But I don't follow the rest of this path. And eventually I find that the answers are not there for me, and I begin to leave. And since then, I've been trying to understand it, to understand how the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints created this, created me. A part of that processing has taken place here on this channel, where I've tried to grasp the context and history of the church. And now, in this third and final chapter, I'm going to show you the last part of the story. How the church went from radical, rebel, polygamist movement who fought with the US government to this clean-cut, all-American, increasingly global church that we know today. How it has produced such deeply devoted members, and how in the process, they became the richest church on earth.
The richest church on earth is crazy, bro. I need me that type of money.
So, you've just watched my whole life story. Kind of surreal. Before we go on, I need to thank today's sponsor. Thank you, Incognito, that have your Incognito interesting and very personal story of the modern Mormon church.
What a
So we already
snipe.
went into depth about how the Mormons were driven out of the United States. They took refuge in the high desert where they built their own religious government and kingdom away from the American government. What would become Utah, Idaho, and Arizona. They practiced polygamy. They were rebels. And eventually the US government cracked down, almost ended them. And under intense pressure, they gave in. They gave up polygamy. A lot of members didn't want to give this up. They resisted. Some of them split off entirely. A prophet had told them that this was the right thing to do. So they left the mainstream church and started a version of their own.
You get a real division then between the mainstream church and the fundamentalist polygamist offshoots. And so that's one of the real ways in which they're really trying to distance themselves from that earlier past.
That's Taylor Petrie. He's a Harvard-trained theologian and an expert on Mormon history and theology. He's a practicing member of the church, and between interviews with him and others, and a lot of primary source research, I'll try to give you my understanding of what happens next.
The church undergoes what scholars call hyper-Americanization, and it's this effort to sort of assimilate into the broader American ideals of the time.
The Mormons go to great lengths in the early 1900s to rebrand, to distance themselves from their old legacy of polygamous rebels.
I think a sincere effort to be a part of the broader world. And the church sort of looked at its 19th century in some respects as a failure, precisely because it had been alienated from the broader society in which it lived. And at the same time, I think that it's a way for the church to demonstrate that it is a good church and that it does belong because they have that sort of chip on their shoulder.
And they don't just assimilate, they actually kind of overcompensate to become more American than most Americans. They lean hard into the American ideal of the nuclear family, the opposite of polygamy. They encouraged family night for all of their members. During Prohibition, when it was illegal to sell alcohol here in the United States, the Mormons jump on board. The leader of the church starts to strictly enforce the rules against alcohol, coffee, tea, and smoking. Tens of thousands of Mormons
Coffee is crazy, bro. How the fuck are they this good at their job in coffees? What the fuck?
fight in World War I. They donate money to the war effort.
In the 1880s, they commemorate the 4th of July with a funeral because they mark it as the death of actual democracy and liberties in America due to the anti-polygamy prosecution. And then in the early 1900s, they're actually celebrating America's founding. They're embracing these patriotic myths. The General Conference addresses are praising America. They're emphasizing their patriotic bona fides.
Well, in part, the church is interested in its own success. And part of the way that it can do that is by imitating their neighbors, but not only imitating them, trying to do it even better.
This is working. The Mormons are rebranding, they're becoming more mainstream, they're like serving as lawmakers, but very quickly, by like the 1930s, this assimilation effort creates a problem, a pretty existential problem that strikes at the very heart of the Mormon belief system. Remember the founder Joseph Smith? Remember how he claimed that he had translated a new book of scripture from ancient records, just like the Bible, but here in the Americas? He claimed that the Book of Mormon was the record of a lost American civilization. It had specific names and battles and languages and technologies, and because it was so literal and
Ooh, is that the apple of Eden?
And battles and languages and technology.
Bro, that apple of Eden, bro, Assassin's Creed is on something, bro. Right here, this isn't every fucking historical shit ever. The apple of Eden, bro. Assassin's Creed taught me.
And because it was so literal and specific, it made itself verifiable. It's either true or it's not, which also made it vulnerable to science. Archaeology and geology and linguistics and anthropology are progressing, and those who look at Joseph's translations and claims see them as a fantasy, as an invention of Smith himself. And soon it wasn't just non-believers. The dissent was coming from within. Brigham Young University, that's where I went to college. It was a university that started out as kind of like a religious school for Mormons. But as a part of this big Mormon rebrand, they were trying to make BYU a legit accredited academic university. The Harvard of the West is one president of BYU's exact language of how they were trying to make BYU legitimate.
They start trying to act like other universities. They finally get accreditation. They start hiring people with PhDs. They give their faculty research funds.
Even some of the church leaders and official historians do analyses of the Book of Mormon and sorrowfully conclude that the evidence points to Joseph Smith as having created all this himself. If you're someone who hasn't grown up in the church, I don't know how big of a deal this is going to sound to you, but it is a huge deal. In the beginning of the Book of Mormon, which I have a copy actually, let me grab. Here in the very introduction, the first page of the Book of Mormon, Joseph Smith says that it is the most correct book of any book on earth, and that it is the keystone of our religion. Keystone, what's a keystone? A keystone is this. The thing that holds an arch together. The idea is that if this book is not a literal record of Jews who came to America in 600 BC, if Joseph Smith made it up, then this whole thing falls apart. All of the claims fall apart. You must understand how important this book is to the modern Mormon church if we're going to continue the story. And this keystone idea really explains what happens next. So here we are in the 1930s on the BYU campus, and that history, the veracity of this book, The Keystone, is being questioned and challenged by science and modern thought. PhDs and intellectuals diluting and reinterpreting the core evidence of the church's veracity. Now remember, the church leaders were trying to modernize and assimilate the Mormon church away from its polygamous past, but this was going too far and it was having effect.
Why does everybody hate on polygamy like that? It doesn't always work, don't get me wrong, but every time it becomes a problem. Having a harem of hoes is a problem.
On the devotion of the members. BYU students were getting really lax. Their beliefs were becoming symbolic. They weren't going to church as much. They weren't paying their tithing. Up in Salt Lake City, they are concerned. This willingness to reinterpret traditional Mormon beliefs in light of new scientific and historical learnings. This stuff, according to the leaders, would, quote, strike at the heart of our LDS teachings. And Joseph Fielding Smith, one of the leaders who would become prophet someday, says it most plainly and accurately, I believe, which is, if such views become dominant in the church, then we may as well close up shop and say to the world that Mormonism is a failure. And I think he's right. This was existential. If this modernizing of Mormon doctrine had continued, then the church could have ended up as a much less literal faith. It could have still been a Christian church, but with a much more symbolic interpretation of Joseph Smith seeing God, what the Book of Mormon actually is. That would have been a much less compelling message. Once you take away the keystone, the thing falls apart. They would still have their central claim that Jesus Christ is the savior of the world, but every Christian church has that. That's not special. Devotion to the message, the thing that drove people across the ocean and across the plains to sacrifice their lives and everything they had.
That's so crazy, bro. When somebody's like really in love with religion or really is like devoted to God, bro, they become so unstoppable. There's something to it, bro. Motherfuckers cross seas, got fucking across the ocean, across every fucking continent to spread the Lord's name. Whether it be, you know, Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, whatever it is, motherfuckers be fucking going nations and changing the fucking face of that rock by just providing the love of God. I think it's the organization that comes with it. Like being in a religion that's like super organized and it gives you a structure. I think from religion, you can learn that, bro, if you have structure in something, it changes your life.
For the building of the kingdom on earth relied on the veracity of the Book of Mormon and the claims that Joseph Smith actually saw God and that he was chosen by God to create the one true church and prepare the world for the second coming.
You see the real legitimate struggle among Mormons about which direction they're going to go. Many of the intellectuals and many of the lay membership is sort of shifting in the modernist direction, and some of the leadership as well. And at the same time, you have other leaders who are nervous about that, who are wanting to kind of fight to hold on to some of those earlier values, fundamentalist, conservative Christians.
So the church leaders needed some kind of stability, some kind of control. They needed to re-spark the fervor that the church was founded on. They needed to fortify their keystone. So one of the top Mormon leaders at the time heads south towards Provo. He's going to go save the church. Here he is talking to all of the leaders and faculty at BYU. He tells them explicitly that they are to teach the scriptures and the words of church leaders, not to promote their private interpretations of church beliefs. He emphasizes a literal reading of the Bible and the Book of Mormon. He emphasizes obedience and certainty, telling these professors that they, quote, are to stand as watchmen upon the towers of Zion, and that they will be held accountable if they don't. The message was clear. There is one truth. It is very clearly articulated by the leaders who are the prophets, seers, and revelators, and that they are not to stray from that. Now, a quick reminder that...
Ain't that against religion? Low-key somebody else interpreting it for you?
The church wasn't like this before. Joseph Smith founded a church that was full of debate and contradiction and interpretation and symbolism. I mean, in the early days, there were star systems where God lived. Some of the leaders said that the Holy Spirit was made up of physical but intelligent atoms. God certainly had many
I don't know, bro. I'm like mixed with like multiple religions into spirituality because I have like a weird look at religion. That's why I'm able to like watch all these different religions and like pick what's right for me, because I feel like too many people like fall in this rigidity of the religion that's already been laid out for you. What if it's wrong? Like, bro, you got so many to pick from, but why can't you just have a stable enough relationship with God that you're able to explore other religions without having to fucking kill other people that don't believe in the same thing as you, you know? I feel like nowadays we need to promote that critical thinking aspect of thinking for yourself and loving God in your own way.
And men and women who are sealed by the priesthood can one day become gods themselves. And there were tons of gods, more gods than the particles contained in 1,000,000 Earths. Women were experimenting with rituals.
I mean, that's what they say now, bro. It's like God is you and you are God. Like, you know, it's like how Kanye, unfortunately, brought this up. It's like, I'm God, you're God. It's like a weird way to interpret religion. It's a weird way to interpret it, but if God created us in his image, it's like, you know, he puts his essence into you. It doesn't mean you're like, God, I'm better. Like, no, it just means that everybody is just one. Like, everybody's love. It's weird. It's a kind of hippie mindset of things, but like, genuinely, if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. Like, we're all God, because the Big Bang doesn't really explain everything, right? So it's just kind of like, it's a weird way of looking life, bro. It took me a while to get really spiritual like this, you know?
People invoking God's authority, developing a sacred feminine theology, and a belief in a heavenly mother, God's wife. My point here is that for the first 100 years, the church was like full of interpretation. There was not one centralized, articulated belief system. The leaders would disagree with each other and they would debate it. And this worked when they were just a small band of renegades in the mountains of Utah, far away from modern thinking and modern science. But that flexible, mystical approach would not work in this new era of the church. One where the church was now in the world, as we say, integrating with the rest of society, and now under threat by modern thinking and scientific scrutiny. So this speech at BYU, J. Reuben Clark is the guy who's giving the speech, and I'm not going to give you a play-by-play of everything that happens in modern Mormon history, but this J. Reuben Clark moment is so important because it sets a clear, firm direction for the church, a movement towards a more standardized, literal, controlled theology, one that is not overly debated by its members.
From 1890 to 1930s, there were a number of potential trajectories the faith could have taken. J. Reuben Clark's version won, but that doesn't mean that the dissenters went away. They just had to morph over the years, and they've always been a minority, but they've always been a loud minority.
We'll get back to this central tension in just a minute, but first, something's changing about the Mormons' look. So this rebrand away from polygamy and towards hyper-American ideals continues, and it soon affects these beards. After decades of donning long, Wild West frontier beards, this quote expression of nonconformity with the rest of the United States, the newly hyper-American Mormons did away with the facial hair. This is David O. McKay, who's one of the prophets, leaders of the church. He's the first prophet to go totally clean-shaven. He gets up in front of the members, starts to talk to them more about the way you look to others, to non-Mormons. He starts talking about white shirts. Quote, "We are not so poor that we can't afford clean white shirts." White shirts.
David O. McKay is a fashionable guy. He's got a great haircut. He's clean shaven.
So the long Brigham Young beards are vanished by the middle of the 1900s. And this is further codified at BYU. BYU is kind of like the cultural epicenter of the Mormon church. And they implement these grooming standards, the honor code, which says you can't have beards.
Church leaders are kind of adopting these new fashion statements in these years and start to look like the modern businessman during the middle of the 20th century. These identities, these practices, these kind of cultural tropes of what the good American would look like. And that really defines the course of the 20th century as the church is adapting to this new environment.
And this is why I looked like this for many years. I can't convey to you how big of a deal these grooming standards were in my entire life up into my early adulthood. When you are a teenager in the church, you are given a little book that is effectively the manual on how you are to behave and dress and look. There's a whole section about grooming. Show respect for the Lord and yourself by dressing appropriately for church meetings and activities. Now, this was a whole different thing if you were a teenage girl in the church. Your version of the book focused a lot on what you wear, modesty. Shorts and skirts below the knees, no sleeveless tops. One of the early editions of this book tell girls that their clothes should be comfortable and attractive without calling attention to a person's body. Strapless dresses and spaghetti straps are not acceptable, either on sundresses or evening dresses. Few girls or women ever look well in backless and strapless dresses. Such styles often make the figure look ungainly, large, and show the bony structures of the body.
And you girls are untrue to yourselves if you encourage or allow this to happen. The way you dress or the way you act makes these guys think that you're interested in something different than you really are.
So yeah, you start to see a lot of control and emphasis put on how you look. From a young age, I was ironing white shirts and tying ties very often. And we were told explicitly that this wasn't just about showing respect for the Lord, but it was also about sending a message to other people, specifically non-Mormons. This is from one of the leaders in 2008. Quote, "Our outward appearance and behavior give a message. What message are we sending? Does it reflect that we are children of God?" Kind of open-ended, but you get the point. Now, this was my one quiet rebellion as a Mormon teen. My too long, shaggy, blonde hair, which was always too long to meet the standard and was quickly done away with when I was called to serve a mission in Mexico and had to abide by much stricter standards that were not optional.
They got your haircut too?
Corporate representation
Crazy.
that becomes really an important part of the way the Latter-day Saints
Crazy,
are presenting themselves, and is ultimately going to trickle down to the rest of the membership, and especially the missionaries too, who are really going to adopt this costume as the brand of what Mormons look like.
I mean, the church was almost squashed by a negative perception of Mormons as polygamous. And so it's like built into the DNA of the organization to have a good public perception. We'll see more of that in a sec. Anyway, speaking of well-groomed missionaries, look at this graph of the number of Mormon missionaries going out into the field in like the middle of the century. This is right after World War II. These are like 19-year-old guys, some women, and they are assigned to some area in the world for around 2 years. They pay their own way, they're volunteers, and during this time they knock on doors and they try to get people to join the church. And it's totally working. I mean, look at the growth of church members into the 50s and 60s, in large part because of this missionary effort.
The church is really successful in growing in Central America, in Europe, in the Pacific Islands, in Australia, in the first couple of decades after World War II, in part because of its Americanness and in part because of its clean-cut symbolism of American values and especially anti-communist values in these years.
Soon I would be one of these guys doing the Lord's work in Tijuana. So at this point, the Mormon church is really successful. Their industrious work ethic has been redirected from building Zion in the mountains to building Zion within the American system and around the world. And the message is resonating, and members are joining from all over the world. And they come in with different cultural backgrounds into this church that was started in upstate New York.
They're out here building a pyramid scheme, like for real, you know?
And here we are, back to this very existential debate that we saw in the 30s with J. Reuben Clark and the intellectuals at BYU. Well, it was sort of happening again, not with PhDs, but with like people in Samoa and France and Japan, who all came from very different cultural backgrounds and were now getting baptized into this very American church. And this is a problem because it starts to fracture the
bro,
message.
I think people just want to
doctrine,
believe, bro.
system.
People just want to believe and have a higher power guiding their life, you know? People just want to believe in something.
As it blends with all of these local traditions. The leaders back in Salt Lake didn't have control over exactly what they were teaching in every branch and church congregation around the world. So the leaders set about, once again, trying to unify the church under one message, so that a lesson being taught in Peru is the exact same as the one being taught in Provo that week. Otherwise, you'll start to get spin-off beliefs. They needed consistency everywhere. So the top leaders of the church get a committee together, and they spend a good part of the 60s rewriting everything. All the manuals, all the official church doctrine and policies and procedures into super clear language. And once they started, they kept going. They decided they wanted to reshape not just the teaching manuals, but the entire organization into a hierarchy that starts with the prophets and apostles at the very top in Salt Lake, who would influence and control everything that happened below it.
For the first time, all teacher development in the church will be correlated under the direction of the priesthood. The church will supersede all other teacher training programs.
The bishop in every congregation anywhere on earth would get a handbook that lays out the official policies and...
Damn, bro, they're like hand selecting everybody. Like, that's crazy amount of control. Crazy. Bro, it's 9? It's 9? I must have started late. Never mind, I don't gotta sneeze. But I do gotta go to a fucking mic tonight. I just realized the fucking Dallas comedy mic is tonight. Wednesday night. That's what I was checking in the group chat. I was like, holy shit. I've been trying to take a break from comedy, but look. It's about an hour and 10 minutes. I got 30 minutes through it. I think my goldfish brain has had enough. I need to go to a fucking mic tonight. I need to let this behavior be expressed, this type of love I have for the stage. I hope y'all understand. I hope my chat understands, because I know y'all. Get you a good hydration drink. Hit the follow button. MrMuncher.com for all your fucking comedy needs. Poppy_Mosif for the aura. You know, I might hit him with that I'm just kidding. I'm cringing inside. But I'm for real though. Hey, get you a good hydration drink. Have a good night. You stay fucking blessed for real. And pray for the boy on stage. Y'all have a good night.